Hey guys, welcome to the video. So in today's video we will be looking at the HPI Vorza Nitro Truggy, or in my case it's the HB D8T with a few upgrades. So I have the front and rear Draco braces installed. The front one is the current one available for the flux setup, but the rear shares the rear brace mount, but it has a new mount. So that is the black part that you can see there. It's slightly longer than the flux version. And then I'm also testing my new Nitro center diff assembly just here. So I've also got my Draco front and rear shock towers installed, and you can see the front, I have them in the lower position. This definitely helps to stiffen things up in the front. I've also got a bunch of springs that I can test out there in the bag always, so always bring those with me. But yeah, so the goal of today's bash is to focus on this center diff assembly. So with the stock setup, I have the brake cams, they have the brake cams in an off-centered position. That means that the cam will make contact in the center of this plate, applying even pressure on the brake disc. But to incorporate the split design of this part, I've had to move the location of where these screws go. So they go right through and then thread into the bottom plates. And that means that I've had to put the cams into the center position. That means the contact of the cam is off center. So I want to test if this affects the wear pattern on the brake disc. And I just also want to see if it works well with the current linkage setup. And with my Vorza motor mount for the flux platform, I have these small bosses in the lower plates that go into holes in the top plates, and this helps locate each plate when you assemble it. But because I've had to move the screws inward, there's no space to do this. So instead I have added a 2mm hole that's 5mm deep, and then I have 2 by 10mm pins that slide into there. So now the two plates will slide over these pins and help locate everything. It's much easier than having nothing there. So I wanted to test if those are okay, and I also want to see if the bearings will wear or anything like that. So just a general check, and also the linkages and brakes, and yeah, the ease of removing the center diff as well for maintenance, things like that. And the rear brace, I mean, I'm testing it, but it should be fine. It's pretty much the same idea as the flux setup, but it's just longer and in a different position, so shouldn't see any issues there. And of course I have the HPI Vorza radio box set installed in this. I do have a previous video where I talk about how you cannot really find batteries to fit the stock D8 radio box, so I have swapped this out, and it's a perfect fit. So yeah, check out that video if you haven't already. I go into more detail about the installation. Alright, well, I'm going to get bashing. I get my engine heater on, and then we're going to go bash, and I will come back and give you my thoughts and see if there are any issues. We'll also do a disassembly of the center diff assembly just to show you how it goes. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I've got about a tank through it already, and I just wanted to show you how this assembly goes together. So yeah, let's do it. First, you would remove this from the servo, just the 2mm wrench, and then make sure you take it off the engine carburetor as well. And then you can remove these 4 3x30 screws, just like this. These go through the top plates into the bottom plates, and then that gives it that split design. And when you remove this, the cams will come with it, as well as the linkage. This is how I do it, at least. And then you can pull it up, and you can see the cams are held in place by the arms at the top there. And you can see the top plates, upper plates, and they come off just like that. And you can see those 2x10mm pins that help line up the plates when you're assembling. It's much easier with these installed. I did do a prototype in plastic without these, and it was quite annoying you would put the plates on and they would fall everywhere, and then you'd have to line everything up. So these pins definitely help make it easier to assemble. Alright, and then you have the diff. You see I have my Draco diff installed in the center here. Alright, and then you can just pull it out. You might have to move it around a bit there. There we go. And then you can pull it out. And then you can see the lower plates. So these will mount in the same location, of course. And you can see those pins there to help locate it. And then I have the M3 threads in there. And the seats for the bearings. No visible wear yet, so the bearings aren't spinning, which is good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then when you put it back together, I recommend grabbing the front dog bone first, sliding that in, then you can put the rear dog bone in, and watch out for the discs. Move those out of the way, and then it drops. Just make sure the diff is kind of in the center here. There is a little bit of play, so you could shim these if you wanted. More information on that later once I finalize the design. And then these are just duplicates, and you can see the manufacturer actually used EDM to cut the top profile there. See, the finish is different from the rest. It's okay, it was cheap. Put that on. Same with the rear. Make sure you spread these apart so they slide over. This can be a little finicky. There we go, and then the pins will help much better. Then make sure the larger part here is at the rear. So this design is mainly to clear the spur gear. I lowered everything down, so it was a little tough to clear the spur gear, so that's why it's like that. There we go, and then you would screw the screws in. There we go. Not too tight. You could add some Loctite. I recommend blue Loctite. I haven't. I want to see what happens. There we go. And then tighten them up. Then replace all of this back. Whoops. Like so. .2mm wrench. Tight. Okay. Then put the linkage back on the carburetor. Alright, so that's how it disassembles, and that's what it looks like underneath. So split design, much easier to access the diff quickly and do some maintenance, add some grease, whatever. Yeah. Okay, and I've also been looking at redesigning the Draco diff case to have some fins on it for cooling. I've been lucky enough to have some feedback from a very popular racer, and he recommended some cooling because the oil gets quite hot, so that's something I'm looking into as well. Alright, well, let's keep bashing.